We've been hoping and dreaming. And we've got John of Skillet
What's
in the
up,
house.
dude?
How are you, brother? It's been far too long, man.
Yeah, it has been a long time. How are you?
Not too terrible, man. It hasn't really changed here because we just sit in a tiny studio all day. So, we socially distance every single day.
I hear you. I hear you, man.
So with that said, what have you been doing with your free time lately? I know the music side of things is probably pretty prevalent now that you have so much extra time, but what outside the box have you been up to?
Well, let's see. We've been very in the box, obviously. I've enjoyed getting a lot of reading done. I know that's not
Really?
too exciting for people, but I love books. I love reading, and so that's been kind of cool. I've read like 11 books or something. It's
Wow.
been like crushing through, but that's been kind of fun. Doing
Yeah.
that, getting used to sleeping in my bed. It's the most I've slept in my own bed for 20 years.
Well, right, with all the touring.
Yeah.
What's funny is I've resorted to just falling asleep on the floor in front of the TV just because I'm too lazy to make it to my bed. Like, I have a brand new bed and everything. So you're doing better than I am. I have to ask, so what kind of authors have you been reading? Because that's something we don't really get to touch on.
Yeah, I read all sorts of books. I read a lot of like philosophy,
Okay.
Theology, social science, stuff like that. I've got some of them here. Let me see. I'll grab it right here.
Okay, sweet. Book club time, friends. You're not going to get this at any other radio station.
I know. How about this? Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. George Orwell, Animal Farm.
Oh, man.
It's a classic. It's like
absolutely
one of those books that you learn about, but maybe you never read. So it's like I learned about it, and so I kind of already knew the story, but reading it, it was like, it's little. It takes you like 2 hours, but it's a really good book. And I like social science. Let's say I read a book called Human Diversity, Charles Murray. There's a good one for you right there.
There you go. The Skillet Book Club is officially go, friends.
Yeah, we got. I can talk whatever you want. I know all about it.
That's awesome, man. Well, a lot of people during this time have been focusing kind of like on the negatives. Man, I can't go out. Oh, man, there's no concerts. What's kind of one positive piece you've been able to gather from this? So like myself, I picked up cooking. I'm no longer completely inept. What's something you've either, you've either gained or that has been a positive for you in this very, I guess we'll say, negative time?
Sure, I know exactly what you mean. I've been able to hang out with my family a lot. Now, I'm quite lucky because, as a lot of people know, my wife is in the band. We've always toured together, and I've got 2 kids, and they've always toured with us. But it's a little bit more like it's more quality time,
Exactly.
We're always working and running around. Having dinner on the road is like, you basically have like a 30-minute window where you eat in between meet and greets and interviews. And now it's like we can sit around and eat. And I think that's been a really, positive thing. And I've actually really enjoyed that a ton. And then just getting time to relax a little bit. I think it kind of reminds you of what's important in life, helps you slow down a little bit. And we've been lucky enough to just enjoy some family time. So I guess,
I absolutely feel that as well.
Shows.
Yeah, right, exactly. It gives you time to kind of recenter, as I've been kind of saying to myself. I even had my little 2-year-old, I was broadcasting from home for the first couple of weeks, so I was live on air with a screaming kid needing juice in the background, and you're like, wait a minute, what is going on? This is crazy. But then you kind of realize that family aspect. For me, definitely, I definitely understand that, and so that's definitely one of the positives that I've been focusing on. So it's good to see that you've been able to take that in as well, really kind of just ground yourself and focus on just having more time alone seems to be a big deal, right?
I know what you mean. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, without getting too philosophical, it's kind of like we've been going in this world. There's basically a philosophy called modernism. And modernism is the idea, of course, that technology is going to get we're going to progress so far that we won't need God. We won't need government. We won't need anything. We will have attained everything we need for perfect fulfillment. And and that philosophy just got slammed shut 2 months ago.
Yep.
with the entire world, just found out, one thing can happen and it could shut down everyone's job. for the
Exactly.
next year. It can shut down the entire way you do life, human activity. You're not allowed to hug anybody. You're not allowed to shake hands. You people are like, we're never going to shake hands again for the rest of human, until we have a vaccine. Will we ever have a vaccine? It just kind of shows you that all the things you think are absolutely certain in life are not actually that certain. And I think that's what you're getting at, is you go, oh, I should hang out with my kids some more.
Right,
Hang out with my wife some more, my friends.
Exactly.
Of course, you can't hang out with your friends too much yet, but we're starting to be able to hang out with
apart, it's
friends.
fine. So as we jump into kind of the music side of things, Victorious is just shy of about a year old now. I'm assuming we're working on some new content, have some things coming. That was kind of put on. What's kind of the timeline for you guys right now as you're looking at as far as new material is concerned? Is that something you've kind of shelved with the whole quarantine side of things, or is it still being plugged away at over time?
Yeah. I think one of the things we thought would be really cool would be, when you make a record, you usually write like a bajillion songs, and then you only choose 10 or 12. So we had you know how that goes. So we had a few songs that that I would have really liked to have been on the record, but they didn't make it. And we had those songs kind of ready to go with just a few minor changes. So I said, what if we just, make the changes, make the mixes, get them done, and then, right at the end of this lockdown, you have something to release to give the fans a little something. So I've enjoyed that, as well as we've done a little bit of free music online, unplugged, check out a couple of tunes, things like that. So we are writing music. I think that part of it is just wondering, at whatever time that concerts start happening again, will it be time for a new record, or will we just be ready to tour the record we just released 8 months ago? It's very strange. So I think that for the most part, I'm excited about releasing some new material. I hope by the end of the summer, maybe a little earlier, and then writing as we go. Cool. Every song will be angry. Every song will be angry about held against my will.
Being lonely.
Yes. All I wanted was a hug. Can't even shake my hand. It's something a good '90s song going.
Right, exactly. It's all coming together, man. Like I said, focusing on the positives. I love it.
Yeah.
You touched on it, and I've kind of just been taking the over-under from kind of everybody we've been talking to recently. If you had to ballpark when we are getting concerts back, the official green light, okay, is that sometime this year, next year, or what do you feel as far as somebody who's ingrained in the world? How far out do you think we are?
Oh, man. I will have to say, within the last 24 hours, my opinion has changed. So you're catching me at the right time. 24 hours ago, I was absolutely I was completely convinced no concerts till January for sure. Yeah. And even a lot of people were saying no concerts till next October 2021. Right. But in the last 24 hours, I've been watching the news quite a lot. We had for people that watch politics, we just had Dr. Fauci just was in front of the Senate 2 days ago. And it was pretty grim. But since Dr. Fauci's, what I thought was pretty grim testimony, you were seeing a lot of governors saying, no, we're not doing that. I live in Wisconsin, and just yesterday, the Supreme Court went against our governor's decision to not open Wisconsin. The Supreme Court stepped in, which means that I'm starting to think that we might see a few shows here and there, especially the outdoor shows. Maybe July, August. We might see a few shows here or there, almost like letting smaller amounts of people in. I'm hopeful of that. So, but if you'd asked me 24 hours ago, I would have said, no way. They are not allowing not crap to happen until January. And and I don't even know if it's January. So I'm starting to see a lot of people rebelling. There's a lot of
rockers rebelling. Weird. That would never happen. Um, so as far as the music side of things, what kind of music have you been bringing in during this quarantine time? Not just necessarily what you've been working on, but the outside influences.
You know what, man? Every day I work out, and I pretty much only work out to AC/DC and
Okay.
Metallica, and like pretty much my playlist. Every once in a
Oh
while, though,
man.
like yeah, it's like the stuff you grew up with because it reminds me of growing up. But every
Right.
once in a while, when I keep adding a new song to the playlist, I become a fan of new bands, and
Okay.
some of those bands would be like, well, not even new. I just mean modern.
Right. Right.
Five Finger Death Punch. I fell in love
Of
with Five
course.
Finger about maybe about 8 years ago, and
Okay.
they're a staple in the gym now.
Right.
But my good friends from Ashes to New, they're
Of course.
putting out their new record. I hope soon, and
Right.
they're on my playlist now. And my wife, here's the thing: my wife sometimes makes playlists for me to listen to, and I get familiar with the songs, but I don't always know who sings them. So I'll
Right.
come back to you as soon as the names of the bands hit me in about 3 minutes here.
Right. Right. After everything's said and done, it'll bing, you'll have the
Yeah,
entire
exactly.
playlist.
As soon as I hang up, I'll be like, oh yes, that's it.
Well, seriously, John, it's been absolutely amazing just to see your face and your glorious beard and,
Oh yes,
just
thank you.
catching back up. This is what we have been missing, whether it's, person to person, through the internet, whatever it is. Again, just thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to kind of say hello. You see the fans going absolutely ballistic in the chat right there. And again, I just can't thank you enough. Is there anything you kind of wanted to get out there? Anything you wanted to say before we sign off?
Oh, I can shamelessly plug stuff if I want to.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Okay, number one, a lot of people don't know I have my own podcast, so I'll plug it. It's every Monday. It's called the Cooper Stuff Podcast. That's my last name, Cooper. Cooper
Right.
Stuff Podcast, and I talk about culture issues and faith and
Cool.
not really politics, but more like the culture issues that surround
Correct.
politics. Yeah.
Right.
And then just today, just about 1 hour ago, Skillet just announced that we are releasing our second sequel to our graphic novel. And the
Cool.
graphic novel, yeah, it's called Eden 2. And it's coming out in August. So we just announced that about an hour ago, and I'm really excited about the new book. It's just now getting finished. All the artwork is coming together. We
Right.
wrote it about 3 months ago. And so then when you write the graphic novel, it's like you got the story, then you go back and you actually write which words go in each frame,
Right.
which is not my job because that's part above me. But
Right.
but I co-write the story, so I write the premise, and then we flesh it out, and then somebody else puts it. This goes in this square, and then it goes to the artist. And so right now it's being done by the artist, and the
cool.
artwork is cool, the story is cool, a lot of action. So the first book is called Eden, and if
Right.
people want to check it out, you can get it on Amazon. Just go to Amazon, hit Skillet Eden, and it will show up.
Boom. Right there.
Booyah!
Well,
Boom!
boom. It fills my nerdy heart with joy to hear that I have a new graphic novel in my near future. So
Awesome.
I appreciate that, man. John, seriously, thank you so much. Give the family all of our love here from Boise, as well as the rest of the band. Once you all can, come within 6 feet of each other, we'd appreciate that. But other than that, we'll get you here soon enough. We'll get you back.
We could think there are definitely good rock songs that we could make new lyrics to about six. I was thinking of remember Creed?
This 6 feet
from a
from
person I know it. That's what we'll
Yes.
say.
Please,
Baby,
for
6
me.
feet ain't so far down. That was
Yeah.
a great song. So that's what we'll sing when we finally come play with you. We're gonna open with that, but it's gonna be I'm 6 feet from the edge of someone else's shoulders.
Perfect face. Exactly.
Yeah.
This is why we love you, man. Again, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. John Cooper of Skillet. Really appreciate it, man, and we will see you soon.
All right. Have a great one. Good to talk to you.
Take care, brother. Good to see you.
All right. Later.
Bye. And there it is. John Cooper of Skillet stopped on by, said hello. Sorry I didn't get to all your questions because there's a bazillion of you out there. But thoroughly appreciate all of you stopping on by, and we'll have more of these as the days carry on. who knows? Who knows who we'll have next and what kind of cool information we'll be getting from these bands. But again, this is Adam from 100.3 The X Rocks. Stay safe, stay distant, and I'll see you on air here in about a couple hours.